I have a very interesting story for you today. And there was this king, Janak. He was very powerful. And one day in his sleep, he sees that he has nothing. He's in the forest and he's very hungry and he's completely devoid of any wealth, power. And then suddenly he sees that he is doing very well, he's very powerful, and he's got his stomach full. And he woke up very confused as to who is he. He calls all the scholars from across different parts of the world to understand what is this. And then this debate is going on. And there is this particular scholar who is part of his kingdom and a very renowned scholar who mostly wins most of the debates. And he was winning this round of debates which was going on, and suddenly towards the fag end of it, he was on the verge of losing. Somebody from the court went to his house and told his son, a 12-year-old boy, that your father seems to be losing. So this young boy rushes to the court. And there, when all the scholars saw him, they started laughing. And this boy, seeing them laugh, started laughing more. King Janak got confused. He asked the boy, "Why are you laughing?" The boy said, "O king, I came to see scholars. I am deformed in 8 places as my body. These scholars, so-called scholars of yours, look at me and they laugh. They can't see beyond my skin. How can they be scholars? They are cobblers. Like a cobbler cannot see beyond the skin, neither can they. That's why though they were laughing at me, at my appearance, I was laughing at them, because what kind of scholars do we have who can only see the skin?" This was a 12-year-old boy, Ashtavakra. King Janak said, "I want to speak to you." And the conversation between Ashtavakra and King Janak is known as Ashtavakra Gita, which becomes one of the biggest knowledge base in terms of spiritualism, in terms of philosophy. Today I want to talk to you about the Ashtavakra Gita. Why? What appealed to me in this was, most people, when I speak to them, be it spiritual leaders or philosophy books, they make spiritualism very, very difficult, very complex. Some tell that it may take many births before you can be enlightened. Very few, the ones I mentioned, be it Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, Patanjali Yoga, and Ashtavakra Gita. There, Bhagavad Gita obviously. In Ashtavakra Gita, he says, you can become enlightened right now. It doesn't matter how many lives you have to practice. It doesn't matter you have been good, you have been evil, you have been nice, you have been bad. All it matters is that moment of realization, and enlightenment can happen. Now this to me was an amazing thought. It just shook away the entire concept that to be spiritual and enlightened, I have to go through years of practice. I have to go through many lives before I get that. Here this young boy of 12 years old, thousands of years back, tells a mighty king about enlightenment, spiritualism, the way to lead a life, which becomes the book. So let me talk about a few verses here which I liked, and obviously would recommend, if you get time, to go through this book. So one of it is in which he says about wake up and see you are the infinite self. You are free. You have just been overshadowed by the events in your mind. That is all that has happened. A cloud has covered the sun. What can any cloud do to the sun? Can it destroy it? Remember your nature. You are only soul, only being. You are a witness to all the events. They will all come and splash like waves on the shore, then go away from you. Even if they create impressions, it doesn't stay too long. because another event takes place and rubs it out to some extent. So interesting. You are what you have created by your mind. Imagine and take yourself back when you were a child, as a small child, were you not happier, were you not more joyful, were you not more blissful? Over years of creation of thoughts, impressions about the way you look at life, what others think about you, the creation of ego, your existence, your personal belief, your whims and fancies have actually clouded your as to who you are. The moment you realize that and you let it go, you can be enlightened. I think that was one. The other thing which I really liked was, and that was something which I could understand much better, is where he speaks about that the bubbles, like the waves, are all the names, forms, material objects and lives springing up and dissolving back into what is unseen. We all have gone to beaches. We have seen the waves come from the ocean, and we have seen it so many times. The waves come very aggressively and then they fall and then they die down, become part of the ocean and get over again. But nowhere they were not part of the ocean, no? They were the same water. It just takes different forms, comes, recedes back, again comes, recedes back. So what he actually means here is that all of us are just part of the same ocean. And we come as waves or bubbles, we come to the surface, then again after some time, go back as the larger part of the ocean. But not a single more time are we different from the ocean, or as water we are away from the main theme. You understand this and realize that everything and everybody that you see is the creation of the same water, the same ocean. Takes different forms, shapes, dissolves back, takes different form, shapes, dissolves again. The moment you understand this, you see life very differently. You become enlightened. I think it's a book which I really loved. Here, this one which I have is from Ravi Shankar in terms of the Ashtavakra Gita. I thought of sharing this with you. Don't think spiritualism to be difficult. Don't think enlightenment to be something very far-fetched. At any point in time, when you start looking at life differently, start understanding what life is about, you reach there. Enjoy spiritualism, be joyful, be blissful. See you the next time.